It's great to see you here in Davos, Switzerland. Welcome to the World Economic Forum. Thanks for speaking with me here.
Thank you for having me, Don.
So we meet at a really challenging time for the region back at home. I'm wondering, how are you seeing the business outlook evolving in the year ahead as a result?
Well, I think it's important to step back from short-term challenges to really consider the bigger picture here. What we see is that Middle East, North Africa has overall been able to continue to grow at healthy rates. In fact, if you look at the three largest economies, if they were trading blocks, UAE, Saudi, and Egypt, they would be the fastest growing region in the world. And it's also very exciting to see that the region is finally achieving scale. Saudi is a $1 trillion economy. You put Egypt, Saudi, and Egypt together, and all of a sudden, on a GDP purchase power parity basis, you have an economy that's as large as France or the UK. Ease of doing business continues to improve. So at this World Economic Forum, we're launching our latest edition of the Economic Integration Report. And we see that ahead of us, there's a $1 trillion GDP opportunity. And what we're focused on is how to unlock that for our economies and our societies. And as always, we take the long-term view on the opportunities ahead.
So what does the report tell us about the future consumer behavior in the region? What type of trends are you seeing?
So the report paints a very, I would say, balanced picture of progress. Interregional trade is growing, has almost doubled over the past decade. Cross-border FDI is at an all-time high, but also shows that there's more that could be done. There should be at least $10 billion of more cross-border FDI in the region, which is very important to continue the growth momentum. There's plenty that could be done more to retain talent and develop talent in the region, and certainly a lot more in terms of data standards and harmonization to unlock the digital economy. So these are all very positive trends. I think on the short term, what we see is continued, I would say, growth. First, in the UAE, tourism is at an all-time high. Dubai airport will soon touch 100 million passengers. So we had a fantastic fourth quarter in terms of hotels, shopping, footfall, etc. So that's all very positive. But you also see challenges elsewhere. I mean, for Egypt to be able to adjust to the inflationary environment, the foreign currency challenges, that will come at the expense of short-term growth for sure. It's also important to realize that we serve 600 million customers. So it's hard to see a trend that catches everybody's sentiment and everybody's attitude to consumption. Certainly the Gulf continues to enjoy very positive consumer sentiment. Elsewhere, where cost of living is a big issue on families, there is slightly subdued demand elsewhere.
So how does this conflict in the region impact the business and investment outlook, though? That's what I want to know specifically, because the conversation on the ground here is very much focused on the geopolitical backdrop. But from a business operator's perspective, what are you actually seeing translate into the numbers?
So luckily, in our UAE home market, we haven't seen much impact. We're obviously keeping a very close eye on supply chain disruptions. We've dealt with that very well during COVID. We've been able to localize our supply chain. We've been able to absorb the impact of COVID in our food retail business. And that has sort of prepared us for now the disruption in trade through the Red Sea and the Suez Canal. But what we see is continued growth in terms of footfall and in terms of consumer spend across the GCC.
So what would you say is the most important economic or even geoeconomic flashpoint to watch in the year ahead?
We have to watch out for the return of inflation. That's one thing we need to be very mindful of. I think we also collectively need to be mindful of both the opportunity and responsibility that comes with AI. We will be launching our own version of Math GPT this week. And it's a very exciting technology with plenty of opportunities in terms of productivity, innovation, consumer empowerment, rethinking and reimagining the way we provide experiences to our customers, but also comes with a lot of responsibility to retrain and reskill, and most importantly, to preserve trust. Because with every new technology, especially one that is artificial intelligence, causes to question, the question of trust in the machine algorithm and the data behind it.
Absolutely, and that's also a key focus here on the ground at the forum, rebuilding trust, and AI plays directly into that. So how do you leverage this technology from a consumer standpoint? What is it that the consumer wants, and how do you build it into your business model?
So there's a plethora of ideas, and I think it's important as we consider new use cases for artificial intelligence not to get ahead of ourselves. But there are very real use cases to allow customers, for instance, not to shop by product, but to shop by dietary requirement, by lifestyle choices, even by budget. And that's very empowering from a customer perspective and allows us to build even deeper trust with our customer. There are opportunities to rethink the way we price all of our goods and services to be more personalized. There are opportunities to become even more relevant to the lifestyle of our customers. So there is a whole, I would say, range of use cases. But I would say that the number one opportunity out of AI, at least in the immediate term, is one around productivity, which in a way frees up more time for our staff and our organization to think and allocate more time to customer experience.